Good morning, this is Don with Maranatha Adventures. This is going to be a walkthrough on what I like to do before we leave on a trip on the camper. And Sally and I are going to be doing a multi-day trip here pretty soon, as soon as all these rains subside some. And so part of the checking I'm going to be going through is I made a list of the things I need to check. Is check the wheel bearing play, how, tightness and everything on that. I'm also going to check the grease. I know it doesn't need, the grease needs to be changed off out of the spindles because it's not quite a year yet, and usually you don't change them out about every 8 to 10,000 miles anyways. I'm also going to go through and I'm going to service the lock and roll articulating hitch and the coupler. I'm going to climb up underneath there when I have the tires off, so that way I could be able to inspect the shocks, make sure they're not leaking. And then I'm going to climb up underneath the front of the tongue and check all the welds for any cracked welds. And those are easy to pretty much spot. And I'll explain that because the tongue takes a lot of abuse when you're pulling a trailer through off-road conditions. But anyways, I'm going to talk about the products I use. And I'm also going to check the air pressure in the tires. I have a specific set of air pressure I keep in these tires. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back at you. Okay, I got the jack up underneath and the jack stand up underneath there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check for wheel bearing tightness. And I like to go 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock position. That's moving the tire in either direction. So anyways, it looks good there. Looks good there. There's no play, just very little play in there was what you want. Very little play. So anyways, next I'm going to be taking off the tire. So, all right, got the tire off. And I'm just going to pump a few squirts of grease in there just to make sure. The grease I'm using is by Dexter. It's for the grease for the hubs that they have, I purchased it through them, the brake hubs and all that. It's their multi-purpose number 2 lithium grease. Anyways, while I'm at it, I'm going to check the shocks. And I came across a channel I follow of Jared's channel of West OK Overland. And he was coming back from the Big Brutus event, I believe it was. And he broke a leaf spring on his camper. So I'm also going to check the leaf springs just to make sure I have no cracks or fractures in them. And it was the longest leaf. So anyways, I'm going to check the springs, and then I'm going to check the shocks here. And I don't see no leaks at all, which is nice. I don't see no fractures, cracks anywhere. Usually where you can find them is where the coating, the fractures somewhere, rust will be coming through the coating. And I don't see anything like that. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and what makes it nice is Dexter came out with what they call is the Easy Lube. And so just putting the cap back on, making sure everything is sealed up tight. The nice thing for me, being I'm 66 years old, I only jack up the tire off the ground so high, so I don't have to sit there and muscle with the 30-inch tire trying to put it back in place. It makes it nice. So it's only about an inch or so off the ground. So we'll get back at you here. Okay. Like I said, the nice thing about it is I only like to lift the tire about an inch off the ground. That way I don't have to struggle with a 30-inch tire. I know some of these campers got bigger and taller and wider. Anyways, about the wheel bearings, getting back with the wheel bearings. Every couple of years, or when I start seeing a discoloration in the grease, I'll pull these hubs off, and I'll get a bin, a plastic bin, and I'll stick these bearings in, and I'll inspect them. And I'll inspect the spindle, make sure there's no discoloration or scarring. Usually I'll take about 1,200 to 2,000 grit, wet and dry, and I'll go over the spindle lightly just to smooth it out, and then wash it clean, and then I'll change out the bearings and just chuck them out, and then put new bearings in. And I use this bearing packing grease tool here. It works great, and I'll pack it with Dexter's multi-purpose #2 lithium grease. And I'll inspect the races to make sure the races are okay. In most cases they are, unless you run your wheel bearings without any maintenance on them. But I like to use the Dexter product with the Dexter hubs and everything, knowing that I'm gonna have a compatibility and not have no issues of wheel bearings problems down on the trail when I'm out somewhere out in a far off destination. Next, I'm going to be checking tire pressure. I run a 235 75 R15 General Grabber 2 AT2s on here. And I like to run anywhere between 36 to 38 PSI in the tires. And so I'm going to check them along with the spare 38 PSI. And I'll check the other side too when I go back and over on the right hand side and start checking that for the wheel bearing tightness and the grease, and then the tire pressure. And I'll check the leaf spring on the other side just to make sure. I never thought about checking leaf springs when you're running an off-road trailer with the solid axle leaf setup. Excuse me. So with Jared's misfortune, kind of opened my eyes on that to what to look for. Thank you, Jared, for that. Excuse me, it's the pollen in the air. Your misfortune kind of gave me another avenue to check. So next off I'm going to do is I'm going to be servicing the lock and roll hitch. Okay, next I'm going to be doing servicing of the lock and roll hitch. And I like lock and roll. They're built like a tank. The nice thing about this particular hitch, it's easy to service, both the hitch and the coupler. Takes a special brad point type grease fitting, and all I do is I use a product made by Travelers. Otherwise, Tractor Supply. It's their marine and off-road grease. Seems to work well. Sally, can you turn that? Just point that in this direction. And anyways, same thing with here until it just comes out. Usually I service them every 2 or 3 trips, depending on how intense our travels are. Usually if it's a 3-day trip, I don't service it. And just when we leave, I just check it periodically just to see. I don't like running them dry, but it's a very stout hitch, and it's a very well built hitch that works extremely well. And I can't be any happier with it. Next I'm going to be doing is climbing up underneath the tongue, and we're going to switch over to a selfie stick, and I'm going to be looking with a flashlight, any cracked welds, and those usually protrude through the film, the paint film that I have up underneath there. Like I said, I replaced the original tongue by cutting it off and then fabricating a whole new entire tongue, beefier and heavier dutier and longer than the factory Runaway Range Runner tongue. And it has a front 2-inch receiver in the front. So I'm going to be checking all the welds on that, and with a flashlight, and then we'll go. I won't be filming it, but I'll be jumping over onto the other side and checking the right tire, wheel bearings, hub, but both shocks seem to be okay, and I'll be checking the leaf spring on the other side also. Anyways, I'm going to be checking the tongue underneath it, and seeing where it all lies, if there's any cracked welds or anything. So I'll take that right there. Well, we look good. We look good. Looks pretty good. Okay. Anyways, this is just a little short video. Doing a check over just to make sure everything is sound on the camper. So now we're going to be trying to run the MDR, the Midwest Discovery Route, the Arkansas Section, starting over in Conway and going towards into Springfield, Missouri. But the weather's not cooperating with us very well. So we're still thinking maybe heading over to Oklahoma and then running one of Jarrett's routes, the Painted Desert route again, so we could be able to get it on video. Or just kind of wait out the situation and seeing how the weather's going to be. But I want to get this done, and this way we're ready, and all we have to do is just load up a few items and head out. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Please subscribe, like, share, click on that bell for future notifications, and stick around for the devotion. I think you'll like it. We'll catch you on the next video. God bless. This devotion will be coming out of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. We'll be reading from the English Standard Version. For we walk by faith, not by sight. When I think about this verse, it's about trusting God, placing our full confidence in who He is, even when we can't see the full picture. It's choosing faith over fear. It's choosing faith over our own decisions. It's letting go of our own understandings and allowing God to do His work. Here's the reality of it. Trust doesn't always come naturally. It's built over a period of time. It's going through situations in our life while allowing God to be in charge. Trusting God isn't about pretending that everything is fine in life. Faith is about believing that God is still good, knowing that God's presence is there even when things are not good in life. Here's my thoughts on this. I believe God is always preparing us for the next step in our lives. And I'm speaking for myself here. I've been experiencing a hard season for some time. I've been going through a time of challenging circumstances that test my faith. It's a time of willingness as well as humility for a spiritual preparation. I won't get into what it's about or how long I've been going through this season. All I can say is it's been going on for some time. As for me, there is no better way to express my love to God than staying faithful to Him during this hard season, trusting Him, knowing that His presence is with me, not just during this time, but always in my life. I praise Him for it, and I continue to do so. It's easy for us to get caught up in our own problems, our circumstances, and stay there trying to figure it all out. That's walking by sight. Here's what I have to keep reminding myself. God's presence is with me. That God is not just working on my circumstances, that He's also working on me, refining me, shaping me, preparing me, strengthening me for something greater. His preparation has a purpose with a divine alignment. It's perfectly timed with love. It's not punishment. 2 Corinthians 5:7 encourages us to keep moving forward even when the season is hard and has no clarity. It's about not forgetting why we came to the cross seeking Jesus for salvation, but it also calls us to pick up our own cross and follow Jesus, trusting in Him in each step we make of our journey. No matter what each of us are going through right now in our lives, and I'm talking about the difficulties, they won't last forever. What God is preparing for you and I will last forever. Walking by faith means trusting Him, living each day according to God's promises, even when we cannot understand or see the final outcome. This means placing our decisions and our life in the hands of the Almighty, all-knowing God who loves us, believing that He will take care of us through both good and difficult times. That is walking by faith. I hope somebody gets something out of this. I really do. Give God the time he deserves. God bless.